Oh, it's so awesome to worship our God. My name is Miss Tandi, and I'm on staff here with Grace Kids, and it's just an honor and pleasure to be with you this morning. So today, we are finishing the book of Judges. Yes, so we're going to review our cycle one last time. Are you ready? So we begin with A, apostasy, where the people turn away from God to false gods. Then B, they fall into bondage. When things finally get bad enough, C, they cry out to God, who D, raises up a deliverer judge. And then E, they finally have ease in the land. So let's open up our Bibles to Judges chapter 13, where we begin our story. And we read that the Israelites again did what was evil in the eyes of the Lord. A, apostasy. So the Lord handed them over to the Philistines for 40 years. B, they're in bondage. But this time, when we learn about our deliverer judge, he hasn't even been born yet. God chooses a family that has not been able to have any children, and he says, you are going to be the family that I'm going to send the deliverer judge. He sends an angel of the Lord to the woman and tells the woman, you're going to become pregnant and have a baby son. But then the angel of the Lord gives her some interesting instructions. He says that she and her son are to live as Nazarites. Now you might be wondering, what is a Nazarite? Well, back when the Israelites were living in the wilderness, what God did was he gave some instructions to say, so if you want to show that you want to set yourself apart in a different and special way for God, there's some things that you can do to live differently. First, don't drink any wine or eat grapes. Then, don't touch anything dead, like a dead animal. And then lastly, don't cut your hair. And this will be an outward sign that you are setting yourself apart for God's work. Well, the mama and daddy are so excited that they're going to have this baby boy. And she does have a little son. She names him Samson. And when he grows up, the Lord is blessing him. But then when we read that he's an adult, he goes out and chooses a Philistine woman to get married to. Yeah, the Philistines. Those are the ones that were their enemies, that were making life hard for them. Well, the thing is, God had told the Israelites, whatever you do, don't marry people who do not love the one true God. But Samson disobeys God. And as he visits the woman, and then as he gets married, he breaks 2 parts of the vow to God. Also during the wedding feast, his bride tricks him. And he gets so angry, he goes out and he kills a bunch of Philistines. He comes back to get his bride. She's gone. He gets super angry, so then he goes out and burns the fields of the Philistines, making them really angry, so they come to attack him. Now, even though he has broken 2 parts of the vow, God is still with him, gives him the strength, and he fights off 1,000 Philistines. But he does not give the credit to God. He thinks it's long hair that is making him strong. You know, the Bible tells us for 20 years he leads the Israelites, but nowhere do we read that he ever leads the Israelite army to go out and fight the Philistines and free them. Instead, we only read about when he uses his strength for himself. This is pointing to the fact that we need a perfect deliverer judge to rescue us. Now, towards the end of his life, we read about him once again falling in love with a woman who does not love God. Her name's Delilah. And she, too, is working with the Philistines. In fact, they'd say, we will give you a lot of money if you can find out why he's so strong. So, even though she proves herself that she's not honest or she's not faithful over and over again to Samson, he finally tells her that it's his long hair that keeps him strong. This is the only area where he's still obeying the Lord. So she has the Philistines sneak in, cut his hair, and then yells to him, Samson, Samson, get up, the Philistines are here to attack. And he thinks he's still strong. He does not realize God has left him. And so he is not strong, and he is captured and led away in chains. Later on, the Philistines bring him to their temple of their false god. He is put between 2 pillars. He now realizes it is God alone who gave him the strength. And so he prays, God, would you one more time give me strength? And the Lord does. and he pushes the pillars apart, the temple collapses, and he and all the Philistines are killed, and the Israelites are freed. It is a sad story. The book of Judges is sad. It shows us that we are people who turn away from God, and we are in bondage to our sin. And human leaders will fail us. We need Jesus. It is through faith in Jesus alone that God can deliver us from our bondage to sin. There is one God. He alone is worthy of our obedience, our worship, and our praise. So before I go, I want to teach you the next verse and a half that we're going to be learning out of Psalm 19. And this one points to the fact that the heavens are declaring the glory of God to everyone. The good news is for everyone. And so this verse says that there is no speech or language where their voice is not heard. And this time, their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world. So let's all now say that all of Psalm 19, both here and at home, and worship our God. The heavens declare the glory of God. The sky above proclaims his handiwork. Day after day, they pour forth speech. Night after night, they display knowledge. There is no speech or language where their voice is not heard. Their voice goes out into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world.